I just found out that they bringing back segregation. And let me tell you something. Tell your friends and your family, I don't even know if y'all got cousins or not. Tell them to hurry up and put them signs up. Y'all act like we want them non-flavorless chickens anyway. We want flavor. Y'all ain't doing us no harm. Y'all be messing like, come on, man. And I ain't trying to go against y'all, because I got a little bit of y'all in my blood, too. But we don't give a damn. And then y'all want to sit there, not you, but people like you that voted for this man, y'all want to sit there and cry, talking about we need to stand together. When have y'all ever stood with us? We good over here.
I keep seeing a whole bunch of people that don't look like me making videos saying that we need to do something, we need to march. No, we do not. We don't need to do nothing. The same way Target played and we took away that dollar, we'll just take away our dollar from everybody else who wants to play in our faces and play with us. Go ahead and put them signs up. We don't care nothing about that segregation. Put them signs up so we can take away our dollar. And you can learn just like Target learned. We do not care. We are resting for the next 4 years. We're resting, honey. We don't care nothing about what y'all do. We don't care.
Rolling back segregation. What are we going to do?
Not one goddamn thing. Not one goddamn thing. I speak for myself, just my personal opinion. But I done speaking about this and I spoke to leaders. And everybody I speak to say it's probably going to be the best thing that ever can happen to black people. A mandate for us to unite without consumption power. We got the greatest consumption power in the world. And you going to mandate us to unite? Yeah. Ever since we integrated, our economic state has been worse. Our families have been torn apart. And when we made a decision to chose that, we got what we got now. And everybody that I see, that's why you don't hear no outcry from black people about this new executive order about segregation. I don't think we give a damn about it. I know I certainly don't. I ain't for it. I ain't pushing for it, but I ain't to get it. Correct me. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Recording this message for quality purposes only. I want to make sure that the algorithm picks up this video and pushes it out as much as possible. I need every person of color, every black person to hear this video, to hear this message, okay? The Trump administration is looking to reinstate segregation for its federal workers, okay? Segregation, to which I literally said in my last video, and I'm going to say it again. Bring back segregation if you want to. Bring it back if you want to. You want to play them games? We can play them games. And like always, go and fact check this. You can find it on ABC News. You can find it on Politico, not political, but politico.com. You can find it on usnews.com and etc. Now, this is coming directly from the article, okay? Let's read. Segregated facilities could make a comeback as Trump's administration lifts discrimination ban on federal contracts. According to a public memo from General Services Administration, the GSA, the federal government will no longer prohibit contractors from having segregated waiting rooms, restaurants, and water fountains in order to secure government contracts. The memo reportedly states when issuing new solicitations or contracts do not include any of the following provisions or clauses: the prohibition of segregated facilities. This move aligns with President Trump's broader executive order to repel diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Hey guys, my name is Kelvin, and you're welcome back to the channel. Something has changed, and if you've been paying attention to social media over the past few weeks, you've probably noticed it too. For years, whenever discussions about civil rights, race, or discrimination came up, the expectation was almost predictable. People expected outrage. They expected panic. They expected fear. But this time, that's not what happened. Instead, videos started flooding social media with a completely different attitude. People weren't crying. They weren't begging. They weren't saying, "Please don't do this." Instead, they were saying things like, "Fine, put the signs back up. We'll build our own. Take our dollars somewhere else." Whether you agree with that message or not, one thing is impossible to ignore. The tone has changed. Many of the voices in these viral videos aren't talking about integration anymore. They're talking about ownership. They're talking about economics. They're talking about community. And perhaps most importantly, they're talking about leverage. Because one lesson many people say they've learned over the years is this: if your money builds someone else's business, then your money can also strengthen your own. That's why you're hearing more conversations about supporting Black-owned businesses, keeping dollars circulating within Black communities, hiring Black professionals, creating Black banks, building Black schools, owning black media. Not because everyone wants separation, but because many believe dependence has never truly delivered equality. Now, let's be clear. Not every black American shares this perspective. Many continue to support integration and believe the answer is improving existing institutions rather than separating from them. But the voices dominating social media right now are asking a different question. What if we've been chasing acceptance instead of building power? And that's the conversation we're going to unpack today.
They're bringing back segregation because they know a world without black and brown people is coming, and it terrifies them. Trump just rolled back protections that ban segregated facilities for federal contractors, and the internet's acting shocked. But me, I'm not surprised, clearly. This is what desperate power looks like. This isn't about restoring order or merit-based hires. This is a tantrum from an almost 80-year-old man. White supremacy is in its flop era, and it's grasping at any old trick it can find. Segregation? Really? I feel like that's how we know they're scared. Because let's be real, black folks, we are unbothered. You can't shake people that have been surviving state-sanctioned violence since the dawn of time. We've had underfunded schools, medical negligence, and cultural erasure since day one. We don't panic when the system turns on us. We expect it. We don't fold. We multiply. We turn every block into a blueprint, every struggle into a strategy, and every threat into a legacy. As I said in my pinned video, a world without black and brown people is coming. Not because we're disappearing, because we're divesting. From their politics, from their corporations, their watered-down narratives, their respectability games, we want no parts. We've seen what happens when we show up and we make America run. But this time we're choosing to build our own instead. And that's what scares them. Not the loss of power, but the loss of relevance. Because without our culture, our labor, our innovation, our souls, what is America really? Let them scramble. Let them cling to segregation like it's going to save them. We've already moved on. And when that world without us fully arrives, they're going to finally understand what unbothered really looks like.
I may lose my little bit of following, but it's okay because Trump is trying to bring back segregation and I have to pick a side, so I choose mine. I have a few rules that we need to implement this time because last time y'all didn't play fair, but we got some new rules that we need to implement and I'm here to show you. Starting strong at number one, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but all invites to the cookout have been revoked effective immediately. Cookout is one of the most sacred events that black people have, and some of y'all been getting invited, and I told y'all that they can't be invited, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead and revoke all access to all cookouts nationwide. No more access to cookouts. I'm so sorry to tell you. I know this is gonna hurt, but I have to go ahead and do it. We're taking back all of our language. Yes, all of our ebonics, our AAVE, we're taking it back. So no more yes, no more sis and spill that tea and clot that tea. It's gone. That's a wrap. Next on the list is the black style. As you can see, black people have their own specific style. It's our own thing, our own way of doing stuff, and y'all have been getting it and y'all have been taking it, and I don't understand why. If y'all really don't care for us like that, I don't know why y'all want to be like us. So we're gonna go ahead and take back our style. Just go ahead and pluck that. Thank you so much. The style taken back. Goodbye. Lastly, we're going to be taking back our style of dance, because as you can see, we do have a very specific style of dance. We do it in a very specific way, and you guys have been trying to take it for a long time, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and take that back. I'm so sorry. We're going to go ahead and take our dance style back because you guys have just been taking enough from us. I know this is going to be hard for everybody to hear, but at the end of the day, we have to do what's best for our own groups. So, you know, these are the things that we have to do. This is what the president has decided to implement, so good luck, Dewey.
All the black people that's in position, that has their own practices and their own things, they should only hire more of them, right? I was just watching this video of the beautiful video of a bunch of black nurses and black doctors, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah. Now I know it's gonna be a little harder to like do, but we need to do that. Yeah, bring that discrimination, segregation shit. Bring it back. I support it 100%.
So I'm gonna stand by my belief that Obama's sole goal in his presidency was to create division in this country, division between the races, and to basically undo everything of civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King spent his life advocating for people to be basically colorblind, to judge someone based on the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. And that went right out the window, apparently, in this country. And now people are advocating for bringing back segregation. When your whole sole focus, like the Democrats, is racial identity, when you focus on the difference in the color of someone's skin, that type of mentality is oppressive.
Get back. I want to know where I'm not welcome, okay? Put them signs back up. Colors only, whites only. Let's do it, all right? Rip the Band-Aid off. Especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes, mayonnaise, hot dogs. Colors only. We got seasoning, turmeric, paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
You were saying that the black excellence.
Absolutely.
The segregation is to get
The colored excellence.
Okay.
Okay. What's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets. Ain't no overhead lighting. What are you talking about?
Wait, where am I going?
Colors.
Hell yeah.
Look at his hair. Talk about where am I going? That's the problem with North Africans.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm in. 100% agree. Let's go.
Talk about where I'm going.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What happens to you in the summertime?
Where are we putting the Italians?
Listen.
I just want to know.
I don't need their food. I don't like tomatoes.
Oh, so they're going on the white side.
Black people spend over $1 trillion a year. I would love for the government to force us to spend it on our own people.
This is very good.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
I brought you over to the side.
And the black airplane?
Oh, come on. The Soul Plane, baby.
I want to be on Soul Plane.
Yes, it's going to be noisy on there, but that's what noise cancellation headphones are for. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to have all the good movies?
All the good movies, all the good music.
Oh, man.
And while we at it, bring back sundown towns. They never left, but...
What's that?
Well, a sundown town was back in the day during Jim Crow where black people weren't allowed to be in a town after the sunset.
Wow.
So those towns never left. They still exist in America, but they took the signs down. I want them to put the signs back up. I wanted to say 248 miles to the next town that likes colored people. Get your gas in Atlanta. Don't stop till you get to Savannah, all right?
I'm with her.
He with me.
White people abolished segregation and slavery, and they fought and died to free the slaves. To free the slaves from who? Who'd they have to free the slaves from? I blame the education system for this. You know, I also real quick. You will never fucking guess what video this is on. You guys realize that your average black person has a living relative who remembers segregation. My only living grandparent was in her 20s when segregation ended. Like those sit-ins and those protests and those boycotts weren't full of white faces. Yeah, man, I was stabbing you in the fucking back, but then I stopped the guy who was stabbing you in the fucking back, and I think I deserve credit for that. I deserve a little praise for that. I don't know how I got on the wrong side of TikTok. I don't know how that happened. Fix my phone. Fix my phone. Fix my phone.
Obviously, the black community does not need me to speak for them. But I will say on behalf of the white community that finds, segregation nauseating, that found Jim Crow horrible, that feels embarrassed that is such a huge part of our history from slavery on, I think if we don't do something now, America's going to look a lot like it did during segregation. The Republicans that control the government in Louisiana, nearly every other southern state, they're going to use this decision the Supreme Court just made as aggressively as possible to reshape the political landscape, to wipe out as much black representation as they possibly can. And everyone, it doesn't matter what color your skin, if you feel sickened by the history of our country and what we have done to people, then this is the time to say we're not doing this anymore, because this is a nightmare, but we absolutely cannot.
Why not just give black people Maryland, Georgia, and Texas? Never thought I would say this, but given the current state of events and what they're trying to do, it seems like the Caucasians want to live a particular way. And they want to live in a way that's going to be advantageous for them. Okay? Cool. Whatever. But what you don't have to do is disenfranchise us, though. You know what I'm saying? So just give black people, then this is not counting the Asians and all the Indians and all the other percentages of colored individuals that are here in the United States of America. I'm just talking about black people, that 13 to 14% of people. Give us Georgia, Maryland, and Texas. We will easily fit in those states. Okay, maybe one more. I don't know, but definitely Texas, Maryland, and Georgia. The Caucasians only make up about 57% of the population. That's 25 states. Y'all gonna have 25 to 26, 27 states. Okay, really, if you really think about it. And then y'all can divvy up the rest between the minorities that's here. And we can create our own environment. We can create our own government. We can do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be worried about seeing black people all the time, or their culture rubbing off on you, or whatever the reason is that y'all are disenfranchising black people right now. Just give us land. You didn't give 40 acres and a mule. You didn't do that. And you did take this land from the Indians, the Native Americans, the First Nationers. I want to keep throwing that out there. This land was taken. So, since we were here, allegedly, through unscrupulous means, meaning y'all went over to Africa or other countries and snatched up some people and brought them over here, just give us our own space then. Just give us our own space. I know some Caucasians will be like, that's not us. That's not what we want. We don't want to be segregated. We don't want to be isolated and just live around Caucasian people. That's cool. Then y'all go to different states, right? So all the people, all the white people, all the Caucasians that want to just live and see a bunch of Caucasians, they don't want to see nothing else, no diversity, give them a few states, okay? And then the rest of the states with the other Caucasians in it, if they want to let people come in and be diversified, cool. But there will be specific states dedicated to Caucasians, dedicated to whites, dedicated to the other minorities, okay? That's the way I see this panning out in a more effective way, without having to keep reliving this nightmare that Caucasians are having about minorities taking over their place, their space, their environment, whatever. I don't see the problem with that. But something tells me y'all don't want to do that either. You heard it here on Richard Victoria's God's Top Line. I'm checking in.
Let's talk about Jim Crow for a moment. Because I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, y'all want segregation. Y'all want to bring segregation back. So basically, y'all asking for Jim Crow to come back. No, let's clear something up really, really quick. During Jim Crow era, they taught the so-called white people were better than so-called black people. White supremacy was implemented in Jim Crow time. This 2025, the truth is out. Everybody know that so-called whites are not better than so-called blacks. That's why the main people that's not wanting this segregation to happen is so-called whites. They want to be a part of what we're doing. They want to know what's going on with us. They want to be included. You know why? Because the truth is out. And they know that so-called blacks are superior to them and always have been. That Jim Crow era BS, that was indoctrination that was being pushed on so-called whites to teach them that they are better than a so-called black person. That they are smarter than a so-called black person. That they are more worthy than a so-called black person. That they are superior to a so-called black person. So we're not asking for Jim Crow back. Because Jim Crow, you got us messed up. We already know who we are. Like the Most High said, that we're above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. So we're not declaring Jim Crow. We're simply declaring segregations. That means so-called whites, y'all go your way, and us so-called blacks will go our way. That's what we're declaring. They fear being separated from so-called black people. Because we the salt of the earth. We invent everything. We get everything jumping. Without us, they would not know what to do, y'all. So we have to remember, during Jim Crow times, so-called blacks was treated horribly, so bad. And whites were treated so good. I'll be damned we go back to Jim Crow. Because we know the truth now. We know that so-called white people are not superior. It's just a front. It's just a front. It's just a put on. But we know America is falling. And the truth is coming out. And these so-called whites are being exposed for the people that they are and have been for hundreds and hundreds of years. And the hidden hate that they have had towards our people and try to still use it to today. But we know their false white supremacy is crumbling right before their eyes. Like I said, a kingdom against itself shall fall. And that's what we see in Babylon right now. America is crumbling, it's falling because they're separated. They can't even agree. The kingdom is falling from within. But Jim Crow, his biggest fear, check this out. Jim Crow biggest fear was so-called black people coming together in unity. Wow. Coming together in unity. And that's even active and alive today in America. They still push that propaganda to separate so-called blacks, to keep us feuding and fighting with one another. Just check out the workplace. You always got a coon somewhere running to the white man's office, snitching on his brother or sister. This was implemented hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago that still has an effect on our people. But when we say segregation, we're not talking about Jim Crow, because today we're superior. Today, 2025, we are above all nations of people that are upon the face of the earth. So today, it'll be segregation. So-called blacks will be superior. So-called whites will be inferior. It won't be no Jim Crow. Now you can stamp that, sign that, and take that to the bank. We standing on that.
They say they bringing back segregation. I ain't too mad at it because I got a couple lines I've been waiting to get off. Now I reckon you skim milk scallywags, quinoa conquistadors, pigment poaching napkin ninjas ain't for round here, is you? I'm gonna give you an opportunity to scram. Gon' beat it. Or your ass will get switched. I got a Gen 5 with a button on. Now look, I'm hungry. I just want a little piece of pie. And I came all this way, got up off my couch. Now how much would it cost to turn one of them whites only pies into a nigger pie? Sour cream salamander, please. Did anybody tell you this is an all-black party, huh? Somebody get this mayonnaise monster away from me. Bettina Sugar, Mark is a white man. But Mark is cool. We rocking with Mark, because Mark is rocking with us. You got it? Now, you can't treat him like any of the other crackers around here because he ain't like any of the other crackers around here. You got that? You want us to treat him like black folks? No, that's not what I said.
If Trump bringing back segregation, why would that even make black people mad? For the longest, all I've been hearing is don't go where you're not wanted. Don't go where you're not valued. If a certain demographic don't want you in their building or don't want you eating there, don't go there. I wouldn't even fight for the right to want to go somewhere where don't nobody want me at. To tell the truth, a lot of us been segregated from everybody else. We don't even care to be around nobody, let alone another demographic. This is just another rage-bait tactic to get two demographics to go against each other, man. It's the same story.
And to the white people who thought that we cared about segregation, boy, fuck you, huh? And to the white people that thought we cared about segregation, boy, fuck you. We don't give a damn. Huh? Newsflash, it's 2025. The back of the bus is the coolest spot, huh? You gonna be real surprised when you drive by Popeyes and you realize that shit say colors only. Yeah, no more chicken. Y'all cut off. See, a couple of years ago, I made a post and I said we need to get them the recipe to the chicken so they stop goddamn coming to the spots trying to act like they don't know what's going on inside of them. But I'm glad we did. And I'm glad y'all said, nah, we already stretched it thin with the Asian market. We gonna just keep it how it is with the whites. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Are we doing that on TikTok? That's the only thing I need to know. We are the culture. So if y'all want to take y'all belongings to the other side of the map, cool. I'm all right with that. Designer stores ain't in our neighborhoods. Guess what? Oh, bye-bye, Dior. So long, Louis Vuitton. I'm all right. Yeah, see, what y'all don't understand is that we really control the market, even though y'all try to act like we don't. I'm not worried about the situation. Honestly, I never, ever in my life woke up one day and said, oh my God, I want to go to a restaurant where a white person is cooking. Never, ever said that. I never even dreamed about nothing like that. Never in my life woke up out of my sleep and said, you know what? I think I got a taste for potato salad with apples and goddamn raisins. Never did I ever. But let's just see how this fare, okay? Maybe it'll work out for the best for y'all. But as of now, anybody born after the 1980s, we don't give a damn what y'all do, huh? We set the trends, and whatever we doing popping. Hello? I'm just a messenger.
Hi, I need to know what bathroom I'm supposed to use during segregation. It's come to my attention that Trump has rolled back segregation. You're allowed to segregate bathrooms, restaurants, whatever you want now. So, there are a lot more biracial beauties now, and people like me pass for Italian, Greek, Latina, all the things. So are we gonna have bathrooms by different ethnicities? It seems like you really only have an affinity for black people. So is it gonna be colored and then everybody else gets to use the same nice, pristine bathrooms? Or How is it gonna work? It doesn't fucking matter, Trump. Whatever you do, roll it all back. Black Americans will not be protesting. Nope. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. You want us on the front line of the protest like it was for BLM. You expected to be able to shoot us dead in the street. Call martial law, and it's not gonna happen. Roll it back. I need to know what bathroom you expect me to pee in.
Okay, so I have seen some really, really great think pieces and narratives and jokes about this whole segregation thing. But I want to be able to let you know that the whole segregation thing has nothing to do with black people and has everything to do with white people. Follow me, okay? So it reminds me of Toni Morrison, who is my favorite author. She is a black author, but she is my favorite author, period. And she was being interviewed by a white woman. And essentially the white woman asked, like, when are you going to elevate your writing and include the white perspective in it? Like, or the right, or the white gaze in it, as she would say. And Toni Morrison replied that I'm not. Because Toni Morrison believed that her books could be read by everybody, but she wrote her books for black people. And if you're not a part of black culture, there are certain things within our culture that mandates explanation so that those that are not a part of our culture can understand it. Toni Morrison took that out of her writing. So she said, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then you don't. But I'm only writing through the black lens for the black experience and the black gaze. That is it. And so when the lady asked that question, Toni Morrison said, I'm never going to do that. And the reality is that black people live very, very full lives and white people aren't even a thought. Like, black people tend to live their lives in a way where we do not think about what white people are doing. And that is very true. It is very factual. A lot of black people only interact with white people because they go to work with them. Right? So if they do not work with white people and you're black, how many times are you socializing with white people outside of work? For a lot of black people, you don't really socialize a lot of times at work, after work, with white people. And so when you have that reality, then it begs for you to be able to go down a line of questioning, right? Which is, what is the issue with segregation? And I've seen some white people on here that was like, white people should be saying that segregation is bad. And the reality is that no, that's not really the problem, right? Because the problem is that we were separate and not equal. That's the problem. It was the maltreatment. Because the reality is that we are no longer segregated. But yet we are still mistreated. We still are not offered the same amount of opportunities. We are still not paid the same rate. We are still not afforded the equality of it. So what white people did was, okay, fine. We will desegregate. It's fine. But once black people entered these spaces, we were still being mistreated. And so the question could actually be, if we had equality, right? If we had equal access to buying land, equal access to be able to garner wealth, equal pay, and we were never desegregated, would desegregation actually be necessary? And there is when you take a look at what was happening with the Tulsa riot, is the fact that black people were equal and separate. Right? They had land, they had businesses, they were accruing wealth. It was the wealthiest black community, and white people who were not a part of the community, very much separate, and yet we are equal, right? They have banks, they have people that build, they have people that, grocery stores, they have houses, they have neighborhoods, they have milkmen, they have mailmen. White people have their own neighborhoods, white people have their own businesses, white people have their own groceries, white people have their own things, separate but very much equal. And white people looked over and said, what are they doing over there? And bombed it, right? Because otherwise, if black people continue on prospering on their own, why would any black person say, I need to be over there? There's an argument for that. And so then when you look further, taking a look at desegregation, right?
whose lives improved due to closer proximity of white and black people? White people. Their lives improved. Their logic improved. All of a sudden, they begin to be enlightened on the reality of the fact that they themselves were lied to. Otherwise, had they not come into proximity with black people, there is no reason for them to believe that their ancestors ever did anything wrong. Or there's also no reason to believe that they are more like black people than what they were told. Because many, many years ago, the Republican Party, right, they said that the way that you are able to steal from poor white people is to convince them that they're better than black people. And if you can convince them of that, you can steal money from out of their pockets and they would never notice. So here we are, where we are no longer desegregated. And you see all over this app where you have white people that are learning a lot about historical truths that black people already knew. We already knew these things. But you have white people on a daily that are like, I didn't know that. That's not what I was taught. I wasn't taught that, right? You have whole religious sects of people that were literally taught that the Civil War was not about slavery. You literally have all of these white people that had no clue that Juneteenth existed, or why it existed, or how many years it actually took post-emancipation for the last slave to actually be freed. Proximity has caused for a lot of the misinformation fed to white people to perpetuate racism, to be dismantled. And so you literally have people that are white nationalists. I need you to follow. You literally have people that are white nationalists that are now running the Republican Party, right? In order for them to bring white people back into subjugation, we have to separate them from minorities, because they are learning truths that causes it to be extremely difficult for us to tell them that black people are subservient, because proximity means that you are able to identify where we overlap. Now they're understanding the humanity of minorities. And now they're not going to go along with the Aryan beliefs that white people are the elite race and they are better than another ethnic group and they deserve to have things by virtue of them being white. Do you see how segregation has nothing to do with black people and has everything to do with getting white people back in line? Are you understanding what's going on here? Because it's never for the sake of black people, which is why black people is like, we cool. Segregate, separate, illuminate, elucidate, do whatever you got to do. And that is a very true reality, because we have only known desegregation. But we have also only known that when we're in your proximity, we are still killed. We are still murdered. We are still mistreated. We are still shunned. We do not have the same access, even though we are in closer proximity. So if our lives have not changed by becoming in closer proximity, why would we continue to be close? Okay, separate us. But you have white people that are like, no, segregation is wrong. Why? Because your life has changed because of proximity. Are you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you get this now? Are you tracking? The segregation thing has nothing to do with black people and everything to do with trying to put white people back in their place. Okay? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
One thing I find fascinating is how differently people are reacting compared to years ago. The expectation seemed to be that discussions around segregation, DEI rollbacks, or changes in government policy would automatically create fear. Instead, a growing number of online voices are responding with something closer to confidence, and sometimes even sarcasm. Their message isn't, please don't exclude us. Their message is, if we're excluded, we'll invest in ourselves. Whether that mindset translates into real-world action is another question, but it's clearly resonating with many people online. A lot of these commentators point to history. They argue that Black Americans have survived slavery, segregation, and Jim Crow. From that perspective, they say resilience isn't new. It's part of the community's history. Another argument gaining traction is economic leverage. Many people point to recent consumer boycotts as examples of how spending decisions can influence companies. The idea is simple. If businesses value Black consumers when they're spending money, then those dollars have power. So instead of asking institutions to change, some argue it's more effective to redirect that spending toward Black-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, and neighborhoods. Again, not everyone agrees with this strategy. Some believe it risks creating more division, or overlooks the benefits of working across communities. Others argue that economic development and broader inclusion can happen at the same time. But the online discussion has clearly shifted toward questions of ownership and self-reliance. There's also a cultural element to these viral videos. Many use humor and sarcasm, joking about taking back cookouts, slang, fashion, music, or other cultural traditions if society becomes more divided. For supporters, the humor is a way of expressing confidence rather than fear. For critics, it can come across as polarizing. Either way, it has captured attention. What seems to unite many of these voices is the belief that political setbacks should not define the future. Instead of focusing only on what governments or corporations do, they argue that communities should focus on what they can build themselves. Whether that means supporting local businesses, mentoring young entrepreneurs, investing in education, or creating stronger institutions, the emphasis is on action rather than reaction. And perhaps that's why these videos have gone viral. They're not built around despair. They're built around the idea that lasting influence comes from economic strength, community organization, and cultural confidence. Whether you see that as a practical strategy or simply an emotional response, it's become a significant part of today's online conversation. At the end of the day, this debate isn't just about one policy, one administration, or one viral clip. It's about how communities respond to change. Some people believe the answer is continued integration and reform. Others believe the priority should be building stronger economic and cultural institutions within Black communities. Those are different visions for the future, and people will continue to debate them. What's clear is that many of the viral voices we're seeing today are choosing to frame challenges as opportunities for greater self-reliance rather than reasons for panic. What do you think? Is focusing on economic empowerment and community investment the right response? Or is there a better path forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more commentary on culture, politics, and current events. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.